Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Eibar career mode here. This is going to be our designated day, I guess you could say, for our Eibar career mode. It's going to be coming to you guys on Tuesdays with MLS episodes coming on Mondays, and I believe Wednesdays we're going to be doing the Sungwoo Lee career mode. Thursdays we'll do the treble, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we actually have three more series coming at you guys. So make sure you stay tuned at the weekend to see what I'm going to be bringing you guys. It's pretty exciting. I like all the series I have started so far, so I'm really excited for all the different content I'm going to be able to get out to you guys on this channel. So first game of the episode here, we are playing against Sevilla in the league, putting our best team forward as we can. I do have Jamie Vardy. I think officially I'm going to be playing him as a center attacking mid in that little deeper role, so I can have almost like a second striker, a center forward, and a striker. So it's more like a 4-4-1-1 instead of a 4-4-2 or anything like that. So it's working really well for us. As you guys see, in the 10th minute, Jamie Vardy actually manages to score a beautiful goal, just smashing it past the keeper there. You know, Jamie Vardy has dropped down to 71 overall. When I got him, he was 72, because obviously the start of this was before he got his winner upgrade, so he didn't end up getting that 75 rating or whatever he is in career mode now, if he were to start today. So he ends up dropping from 72 to 71, but that's really just because his pace came down. He's not as fast as he was at the beginning of the season or when he was with Leicester. So it doesn't really bother me too much that he is a 71 rated player, because he still has his shooting and everything to look forward to. He has his passing and dribbling, so he's still an exciting player and a really good player for me to be using. So the first half comes to a 1-0 lead for us. The game was going pretty well. So I was playing really well, I was passing really well, everything kind of felt comfortable. As you guys see, Antoine Griezmann is officially out of La Liga. He will be joining Borussia Dortmund based on that last transfer window we had. So big move there. Definitely going to weaken the Atletico Madrid side and hopefully give us a chance in kind of solidifying a top 3 position consistently in the league. Obviously, Atletico Madrid is still a strong squad with or without Antoine Griezmann, but he was definitely a top-tier player that kind of put them over the edge a little bit. So it will be good to see him gone, I guess you could say. As you guys see, we end up conceding in the 63rd minute. I honestly tried to do that pretty bad tackle, that slide tackle, thinking I would at least get the ball or stop the play. So that they wouldn't score. I was okay with getting carded and giving away a free kick because I did not want to concede that goal, but they end up going through and scoring it anyways, and this game is going to come down to a 1-1 draw. We get one more opportunity here, but nothing is able to come from it, and the game is going to come to a close and a draw. So a little disappointing. Obviously, we're trying to stay in that 2nd to 4th placing, and there's a lot of competition in La Liga this year. The top 2 are kind of pulling away a little bit because I am drawing games a little too often. So Barca, Real Madrid's in first by a long shot right now. I think they're definitely winning the league. Barcelona is comfortably getting into that 2nd place position, but that 3rd to 7th is really close, and it's going to be really interesting throughout the entire season to see how things go. Obviously, we're only in February, so we have a few more months and a lot more games to play, but it's definitely going to be an interesting storyline to pay attention to. Timo Werner did not play well in that game. His passing was off, his dribbling was off. I wasn't really comfortable with him, so I wanted to go ahead and get him into training and start to boost his ratings a little bit, but the few drills you guys are going to see in this episode, he did not do well in it all. So he's really flopping for me right now, which is really disappointing because he is a player that I really do enjoy using. So I'm definitely, regardless, going to be trying to, I guess, force the issue with him and make him to be a good player, or at least good enough for me to resell him in about a year or so, hopefully. So if he ends up being a flop for me, I at least want him to be a flop 80 rated player versus a flop 75 rated player, so that I can get more money out of him, to be honest. So We will see how he progresses throughout. Like I said, training is going to be really big for him. Most of my players are growing through just playing in games, but he's definitely going to be a focus point for me along with a lot of my youth squad players. My youth squad is coming up pretty well. We're getting a lot of players in, as you guys are going to see over the next few episodes, and at the end of this episode I think I actually sign a couple more players up as well. So coming into this game against Valencia, this is a cup game, I believe. I think it's the quarterfinals of the match, or of the cup rather, and we definitely wanted to win this game. Playing in the snow is never ideal. Before that tackle, I had actually already had a yellow card with Inui, so I was thinking I actually got a second yellow and a red right here, but we managed to get away with that and continue on in the game. So the first half was really boring. They were able to not necessarily dominate me, but I didn't have enough pace. I was trying to sit back a little bit and just play a little bit of counterattack against Valencia because their defense is pretty strong but not necessarily the fastest. But playing Inui and Isaiah Brown really hindered me. I wasn't able to hit the flanks nearly as well as I wanted to. So this first half is going to come down to a 0-0 draw. And before we go into the second half, I am going to be making the change, taking Isaiah Brown off. He's been a massive flop for me, and I'm definitely trying to get rid of him as soon as possible. I tried to in the January transfer window, but it just didn't end up working out for me. So we do have to hold on to him until the end of the season, which isn't a bad thing. You never know what's going to happen with injuries. And speaking of which, I don't know if you guys noticed in the last episode, but at the end of that transfer window, I was not able to bring in another center back. So we do only have 2 center backs on the roster right now, and we actually only have 1 contracted permanent center back on the team, because Ta is actually a loanee player, if you guys do remember. So as you guys see here, we do take off Brown and bring in King. Definitely wanted to get a little bit more pace into the team, but wasn't going to bring Aichi in because he was pretty tired and I want to keep him rested for the next game. So I was a little more focused on that, but King is definitely fast enough of a player to make a difference. So here in the very start of the second half, we're actually able to run into the box with King and he gets tackled and we end up getting a penalty. So he makes an instant impact. Obviously, how much of an instant impact, because that could have happened with Isaiah Brown, but he has the creativity and he has the pace to burn away from players and pull away from players. So it gives us a lot more opportunities to create chances, and it gives us the opportunity to get the penalty here. So we take a 1-0 lead in the cup and things are looking really good for us, because like I said, that first half not much happened. They weren't really looking that scary in terms of them scoring, so I wasn't too worried about them scoring in this game at all. I was actually more worried it was going to end in a draw and then we'd have to do a replay. So we actually end up getting another penalty here in the 86th minute. Timo Werner ends up getting pulled down in the box, so we will be giving him the chance to score as well, because obviously I do want to make sure that we get his form back up, and the best way to do that is to score goals. So we end up pulling Jamie Vardy off, putting Timo Werner on the spot for the penalty, and like I said, just wanted, even if he wasn't the one who got the penalty, I think I would have put him on the spot anyways, because I wanted him to score a goal. I wanted to get his form up. I want to see if I can recharge him and fix him and not have him be a flop for us. So whatever I need to do to put him in good form, I will be doing so. And we do take a 2-0 lead pretty late on into this game, so we do end up winning the game 2-0. Really happy with that. Obviously, we're going pretty deep into the cup. There's a second leg to this game. You guys, I want to say that's in the next episode, so make sure you guys stay tuned to that. It was actually a pretty good game. It's definitely a strong game for me, but not necessarily a surefire win either. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the next episode to see if we end up progressing in the cup, because I believe that Real Madrid is the team on the other side of the semifinals. So hopefully we can get into the final and play Real Madrid for a title, because obviously the league is kind of out of our hands at this point. So we do want to make sure that we win the cup so that we can bring home some silverware this year, before we kind of get into hopefully some European football next season. So that is how that game was going to end. Our final game of the episode is against Espanyol in the league. Another game where, I was feeling pretty confident. I wasn't able to play my 110% full team, but I was able to still play a pretty strong team nonetheless. So they had opportunities early, and they had a lot of opportunities overall in this game. And it actually had me a little worried. I couldn't really get control in this game. It was a lot of midfield battles, and then whenever there wasn't a midfield battle, they were actually the team to actually break away and hit me with a little bit of pace. This is obviously the team that has Kappa on it, and I want to say one other player that we have sold off. Espanyol has always been that team that have come after our players whenever we don't want them. So not to say that I didn't want Kappa, but I also needed the money to bring in Timo Werner. So right now, that's probably not looking like the best decision for me, but I think it's definitely going to pay off in the long run. We had a really good opportunity there with Jamie Vardy. He actually gets 2 opportunities, and then we also end up choking the shot with Iheanacho in the box. Those were 3 perfect opportunities to score. We end up choking all of them and end up going into the half at a 0-0 draw because even at this corner, I wasn't able to really make anything of it. I just didn't see many passing lanes, and I didn't know where to go with the ball. So I just really didn't see many chances. We ended up getting one more shot with Jamie Vardy. He ends up putting it wide. I have noticed if you're too far to the right with Jamie Vardy, he doesn't turn his hips enough to actually bring that shot back in to actually put it on target. It's happened multiple times while trying to shoot with him. Obviously, that's just more in the game because it happens to a lot of players, but it seems to happen a lot with him. So we're definitely going to have to make sure we adjust a little bit more to put a little bit more effort into turning him physically to actually put the shot on target. So like I said, going into that half, we were at a 0-0 draw. Nothing happened in the second half until the 79th to 80th minute. They ended up breaking away after a corner, and it was one-on-one with the keeper, and the keeper comes up with a beautiful save. Honestly, kind of gave up thinking that we weren't going to save that, but he managed to come out, make a beautiful save. Here, I don't know what happened. I don't know why the ball got passed across the goal. I don't know why after it got passed across the goal, why he tried to pass it out to the closest player instead of kicking it up to Jamie Vardy up top. But we end up conceding a goal in the 82nd minute, and we are going to end up losing this game. So not a great episode in terms of the league for us. Obviously, we're doing well in the cup, and that is our main priority right now. So we will definitely be putting all of our focus into that, making sure that we do at least get to the final and hopefully end up winning it all. So like I said, that is how this game is going to come to a close. Like I said as well, there's a couple logistical, things after this game that we're going to go into, including looking at our youth players that we're hoping to bring in, and looking at some more training stuff going on. A lot of my youth players that I'm training right now aren't growing as fast as I would hope them to be, so I'm obviously still trying to get them all out on loan to try to progress them faster, hopefully. I'm really not too sure how well loan moves that have actually been working in this game. I know in previous FIFA, sometimes when you put a player out on loan, they don't grow as fast as they would if they were actually in your squad. So I do want to test that a little bit and see, because when we sent Eddie out, he really didn't grow too much. He grew a little bit, but nothing too impressive. So definitely hoping for a little bit more out of my youth players that I'm going to be putting out on loan. But like I said, we have a little bit more training here. Nobody's really going to grow too much out of this one. Gutierrez comes up to 55, so that's good. But like I said, none of my players are really growing to the point where they're going to be first team players or even backups right now. As you guys see, there's a goalkeeper that we could sign, but I think I actually end up signing him. The rest of the players aren't really worthy. There's the other player right there who could basically play anywhere in the midfield or striker position. We don't really know, so I wanted to scout him a little bit more. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you tune in throughout the week to see what other series I'm going to be doing. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later.